Hey you. I'm having a morning stroll with my little beautiful boy. Pondering something that I thought I might share. Well, a couple of things. Firstly, let me get this off my chest. See, I'm wearing a logo from a company called Hollister. I think it's called Hollister, right? And I confess, because I talk about the issue of buying overpriced goods with people's names on or companies' logos on or whatever, and basically being a billboard for them, but actually also working for them because you have to earn extra salaries that's going to be taxed by the government to pay 50% or 100% or 300% more for the shirt. I came across a clothing store the other day. People were queuing to get inside. It blew my mind. Can't remember the name of it right now, but I'm shit. What can you see there? Oh, that's the design of the park. That's my boy. Yeah, hello. Hello. It's nice to see you on the... Uh-huh. Oh, really? That's exactly what... Yeah. Hi. Anyway, so, yeah. Oh, I got all that over me. Oh, hope that wasn't on him. Anyway, so, I have this dichotomy, which is that I have obviously in the past bought clothing with these logos and brands on them. Sometimes because it's the item that was on sale, more often than not. But now it's like I can't really afford to, or it doesn't, I don't really want to kind of throw all of this stuff away. I tend to only wear it around the house or whatever, but I'm down at the charity shop and getting the odd item here and there, and for him too. It's amazing how cheap things are down there for these little people versus how much it costs to buy it from the store first up. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about something else. Which way do you want to go? Let's go this way. Let's go. Oh, I want to go this way. Please. Oh, he's off. I'm going to have to chase him down. Yes, so what I wanted to say was this. I'm thinking about a friend of mine who is unwell. I mean, I don't want to be dramatic or anything. He's a little bit younger than me. Not quite 50. Had a heart bypass operation earlier this year, I think. Oh, and I think actually in doing the cleaning up of some condition with his heart, the medics made a mistake. They were practicing as usual, but they made a mistake during their practice, and I think they severed a nerve that controls the intervals or the alternating implosion of the heart, and now he has to wear a pacemaker for the rest of his days. And he's been getting really good medical attention, the best perhaps money they can buy. And now, the other day, he's only gone blind in one eye. Do you want to go out? I'm going to have to carry you. He's gone blind in one eye. And they've said he's had a blood clot. So he's already getting all the medical attention that one should expect to get, and more perhaps. Doing a whole lot of self-rehabilitation. Perhaps not enough in certain areas, and this is what I want to talk about. Physically rehabilitating, but perhaps not spiritually. For the soul. As Andrew and I were saying this morning, it's really the soul that feeds and nourishes the avatar, the body. And a broken soul will inevitably lead to a broken body. And this is where I want to be able to help my friend and others. But I guess it really falls down falls back to the individual themselves, because that's you on the screen. They're filming you. Hope you don't mind. Yeah, it falls back on you, really, always. Do you want to get down? Yeah. It falls down on you to. Alexander's 18 months. I already said that once, didn't I? If I did already, I'm sorry. It falls down on us individually to be the change, doesn't it? Really, you can go to a therapist, you can go to a gym instructor, which I used to be. You can go to a life coach, which some have suggested I should be. And obviously you can go to the drug dealers. Yeah, that's all right. Sorry, baby boy. You must look where you're going, darling. We walked into a wall right now. The corner at this edge is, yeah. Damn, sorry about that, Z's. I should have been a little bit more mindful there. He's got this habit of like walking and looking sideways now. Looking at things sideways and just keep walking forward without checking that he's going straight still. Just look in front of you, huh? Anyway, yeah, so, yeah, you can go to the state registered drug dealers and get a handful of pills. This lady I was helping yesterday, she had a spinal operation go wrong. They pierced the dura. She had CSF leaking into a sac in her back. Another nerve ending was severed, and she has lost for 10 years now feeling to various parts of her body. Anyway, so there's plenty of pills and knives and what have you going around, I guess. The government are trying to ban knives, but it's only from those who haven't been through their indoctrination centers. So a lot of the work, I think now, can be done in a completely different way without all the pills and all the knives and even the head doctors, the shrinks, They may not like to hear me say this, but I think when you're a shrink in a materialist world, in a particulate world, atoms and electrons and neutrons and so on. Well, the electrons and neutrons, I won't argue about that. But, the materialist, and, I was kind of, always into thinking about the great philosophers. But, I mean, if they're coming at it from a heliocentric philosophy, then it's poisoned. Intentionally or otherwise, the well has been muddied. So, I'm not suggesting that the only way forward for the soul is to know that you're on a flat earth. No. That's not it at all. The only way forward for the soul is to know that you are the very center of the creation, and therefore you can create heaven and you can create hell. I mean, in the case of my friend, most people would think, gosh, he's got so many things that we wish we all had. But on the flip side, like most of us, like many of us, he has scars. And in some cases, some crazy kind of life experiences. Oh, Daddy, cross the road with you. Let's just wait for the cars to come, all right? There's 2 cars coming, this one and that one. All right. We're gone, now we can go. My friend had a horrific experience as a child. But I don't want to get personal, it's just doesn't really matter how you're set, you know, what your career status is, what your income status is. What matters most is your soul status. Me carry you some more? Alright. That's no problem. Your soul status. I sound like someone I wouldn't have listened to myself 5 years ago. Maybe 6 years ago I wouldn't have listened to myself. But now I know that it's so important to have yourself centered on this plane, in this realm. So you getting a little restless now. I might have to cut this short. So, you okay? I won't be long. I just need to finish this up. You want to go walk forward? Is that what it is? Oh look, there's a puddle of level water. That'll be interesting. Yeah. Well, thank goodness for level water. Yeah, the soul, the health of the soul is essential. You can assuage the soul. You can assuage the material with drugs and gambling and sex and rock and roll and exercise and sport and porn and alcohol and cannabis. You know, you can hide with cannabis. Hide from that. Or even just, you know, just like someone who's sort of totally obsessed with work. You know, all they want to do is work and never think. And like this old dude whose house I cleared the other day. He died 3 years after quitting work at the age of... He quit work at the age of 78 and was dead by the age of 81 or 82. It was without work that he was without purpose, and his soul had nothing to go to. See, when they're young like this, they know about nurturing their soul, grounding and earthing, and just taking time to talk to the leaves. Yeah. So I just I hope as a way of having a conversation with myself and with others, you know, I can elicit or draw out ways to combat the malaise of disconnect between what we truly are and what we seem to have created for ourselves here. I hope you have a super day. This is Trinity 4, also known as Dave.